stay on.
Or you just focusing on Commissioner Alexander and Commissioner Stevenson?
Okay.
Not be on the record.
We're back on the record. The tape has been changed. And you attendees, if y'all get bored some night about 11 o'clock, you can go to our website and watch this meeting again about a week from now.
I would suggest you watch a different meeting so that you're not seeing the same thing twice.
Okay, continue on with our RELO report.
Did you want to say anything, Steve?
I always enjoy going to the education parts. I mean, that's most informative for me. I enjoyed the fair housing just because living in Tennessee, we always think we're pretty much on what's going on with the pulse of the nation. And then you hear what else is going on and you're thinking, wow, okay.
I did tell them in the fair housing that if they're going to keep protecting all these classes, I want them to protect rednecks and white trailer trash.
Talk about yourself.
Watch it.
Anything special that you learned, Steve?
The mid-year meeting is always the prep. You get the most information to come back to your commission and the most information for the news journals from the annual, because that's where it all comes together.
And that's where this year?
Seattle.
Usually in October.
Correct.
End of September.
End of September.
Middle.
I can't remember who Janet wanted to go and John maybe. I think we're the two people who wanted to go.
I
Right?
don't remember. I think it's John.
Yeah, I think it's John. But it is interesting. I mean, the mid-year meeting does have the committee meetings, and it's sort of the smaller, one-on-one meetings. And it was well attended. I think this was very, very well attended.
It was. A timeshare, Ms. Maxwell, Director Maxwell and I sat in on the timeshare meeting, and again, we have the same issue as many other states that have timeshares, and it's
And really the scams, the resale scams.
the scams, yes. And the
popping up.
ATR would be a fantastic product for our state.
Yes, I'm hoping that.
Aurello has the ability to handle all of the amendments and the paperwork that comes in. If we've just gone through packing our office and the ability to just have all of that paperwork from a timeshare company that comes in a booklet. What,
For the registrations and all the amendments.
this thick.
Oh, well, yeah.
For it
some
to
of
be
them are
online at no cost to the state of Tennessee would be fantastic.
Yes. They have a contract. That's been the kicker all along, is that they have a contract.
But I'm not opining on the issue. I'm just.
Right, yeah, no, I'm hoping that, since they said they'd work with us on the contract, it'll work.
Okay. So that you could access.
When's the next meeting?
Of Aurello? September, I want to say the 23rd.
Well, there's one June 24th.
Oh, right, yeah.
But we are not going.
And we were going to go, I mean, we started to write the justification, and Kelly kept on him to give us some sort of a schedule, and when we got the schedule, it really only, it just didn't have anything on it.
I was surprised to hear that our legal counsel didn't attend. I think there's a world of information in those Aurello meetings that legal counsels can take advantage of. And if it's at all possible next time, I think Julie should go.
She'd be delighted to go, I
I
know.
would love to go, but I think only 2 staff members can go.
But maybe that, I mean, it will, we can ask and see if,
A lot of the states do send their
They
staff
do.
attorney. There were a good number of attorneys.
and a lot of it is law-based, I mean,
A
so
lot of it
it's,
is based on
Yeah.
what she does, so I can't imagine that she wouldn't be allowed to attend.
And Tennessee's always got 1 or 2 cases in there.
yeah, and we do, and other ones things that pop up that are very relevant. I mean, I think it gives you just a whole nother perspective that's great.
Okay, now, real quickly, as we finish up our RELO report,
Well, Eve hadn't told you her.
Well, that's okay.
I just wanted to explain to these attendees, Aurello, A-R-E-L-L-O, stands for Association of Real Estate Licensed Law Officials. All the commissioners in all 50 states, plus the 11 Canadian provinces that have real estate commissions, plus about 45 foreign countries
Yeah.
are
Then they
members
just
of
get
this
rid-
association of Aurello, the real estate licensed law officials. And If you can finish up your report now, Ms. Maxwell.
Oh, well, no, that was, actually getting ready to go into India. And the guy who's the president this year has been invited to India to help them try to set up a regulatory, whole regulatory system of real estate, which would be a major undertaking, I would think.
Wow.
But Leon Lewis, who's the president of Rellos, I mean, he's really excited about that. Because that'd be, as I say, a major undertaking. One thing, I mean, we discussed in several of the meetings about teams and how they're handled. And some states actually, like Maryland, actually, they don't recognize them per se, but they've set up rules to deal with teams and what they have to do, as have a number of states. That, some states require that if you're going to be a team leader, that you have to be a managing broker or at least a broker, that you can't just have an affiliate person be the team leader. Most of the states require that the firm name be in the team name, and all require that the firm name be more prominently displayed on advertising than the team name, so that it's very clear and conspicuous, that a person looking at it could be able to tell that this team is not the firm that holds a license. Georgia had an interesting issue with pocket listings, which apparently this is, I guess, a big issue they've got in Georgia, where the pocket listings, they say, well, the Georgia Commission is worried that perhaps the seller isn't being fully informed, that with a pocket listing, they're not getting the exposure that you might get from the normal advertising and marketing avenues, and that there may not be getting the highest offer for their house, that, there's not that opportunity out there for a number of people to look at the house, and they feel like that the public is not as well protected from the standpoint, and I don't know exactly how MLS works, but I guess as soon as that sale is completed, it would normally go into MLS and show on a comp that was picked up by an appraiser. And so these that are sold as pocket listings aren't going into those comps immediately, and then aren't being used for appraisal purposes. And so they saw that, there's this whole set of problems that have arisen, and it was something they talked about, I think, in every meeting that we had. So I thought that was kind of interesting, because I never really thought about a pocket listing as being a disadvantage to the seller. I thought there were usually reasons why the seller wanted it done like that. And there were a number of other things that I can talk about at a later point in time. Do you want to move on to the next topic? The next two topics? They're pretty quick. The next topic is just that we moved to Davy Crockett last night, we guess. We moved last night. Some of the regulatory boards moved on Friday. We moved last night. They were supposed to have everything up and running by this morning at the beginning of business. They weren't moving until yesterday afternoon to the close of business. And actually, when I was there Friday night, they weren't moving. About 8 o'clock, they had maybe 2 guys there moving. So they managed to get those individuals moved, but they did have the weekend. So we don't know. I haven't heard from anyone at the firm. I don't know if Steve or Kelly has. I don't know if they got the stuff up and running. But now we're back in the Davy Crockett building on the 4th floor, and we're there along with cosmetology and contractors, appraisers, and private protective services, and then some person called Tennessee Corrections. Yeah, we don't know them, but they have their own little walled, they take up 1/4 of the floor, and they have their own little walled area. We don't know them, but anyway, they're on our floor as well.
We took their parking last time.
They what?
They're the ones we took their parking last month.
Oh.
We had to go
Took
move.
their parking.
Well,
That's
They
why-
have parking?
Wendell did too. He and I took their parking.
I've heard that parking is going to be really tight at Davy Crockett from now on, because everybody's moved back down there. So that's something we might have to make some changes to
Just as
that.
long as you protect us.
Oh, well, okay.
She may have to send the shuttle to pick us up every month.
But anyway,
Y'all might have to carpool.
in June
We
you can
do.
come see our new offices
Okay, we look
on the
forward
4th
to it.
floor of Davy. And then the July meeting, we have exhausted all of our resources in Cookeville. Originally, the association thought that we might be able to meet there, and then Kelly contacted the county commissioner or someone, and the biggest problem they have is they don't have the mics. They just have equipment that would work for one person at a podium. So we would have to rent equipment. And So that leaves us without a,
We have mics in my little bitty city.
yeah.
Can't imagine.
No, they don't. It's the amplification it's always the, I mean, that first time we went to Memphis, they didn't have amplification. Matter of fact, we rented mics and they still didn't have amplification. But we've exhausted all of our resources there, and we need to make a decision because Robin has to give notice to the individuals and to the,
I make a motion, we just have our meeting in Nashville in July.
Do I hear a second?
No, they want to go to Cookville anyway.
Or do y'all want to go someplace else?
I'm not gonna second, I won't be here, so it's.
Let me just explain a little bit for you all. If you decide, don't make a decision today, and you come up with an idea sometime in the future, I will not be able to have a hearing in July. Now, that's up to you, but I just want to let you know that I've got to get it filed by Monday or Tuesday in order to be able to have it in July. Or Wednesday. Anyway, next week I've got to get it filed.
We got a motion on the floor that's about to die, but anyway, I just want to make one comment. I would like for us sometime, if we decide in July to go to Nashville instead of going to Cookville, I would like to go to Cookville sometime. And I just have not gone and talked to the contacts that I have in Cookville. They've got a county commission room, or they've got a city council room up there that I think that might. And you've already talked to both of them?
talked to them.
And
There's no recording equipment.
no recording equipment.
It's the
How do they record their
lowest
meetings?
issue.
How do they amplify and have permanent records and broadcast their meetings?
I guess they don't.
I just can't imagine. They do that, like I said, my little 25,000 person city, they do that.
Gallatin did have, y'all did have it.
Yeah.
I mean,
What do you want to do?
Somebody better come up with another idea since they don't like mine.
I'll second your motion.
Well, let's discuss it. What's your thoughts, Commissioner Alexander?
I don't mean that one. A thought.
The association has been most helpful.
Better than
They're
me.
willing to help. Robin Reagan's with
I like
Upper
Nashville
Cumberland.
pretty good myself.
Do what?
I like Nashville pretty good myself.
We have a motion on the floor and a
Get
second
around up there.
to have our July meeting in Nashville.
All for the question.
Question has been called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
That'll change our dates.
Show one abstention.
And one abstention.
We'll still do Thursday and Friday.
Because that's the day we have for the judge,
Okay.
yes.
we'll still do Thursday and Friday. I will have to make sure the room's available.
But they have a lot more options. I mean, like, there are several options.
We have
We're-
2 board members.
Right.
Windows phones on.
And they also have that one on the 6th floor, although I don't think it has amplification yet.
I'll email,
Linda.
yes,
I think our meeting will be on, what are those dates at Wednesday?
the
and
11th
Wednesday.
and 12th. Oh, you mean?
Wednesday and
yeah,
Thursday.
No, it'll have to be Thursday, Friday,
No.
because that's what's
It's
published.
11th and 12th.
Are we gonna change the date?
Cannot.
Can't change the
I have
date.
a judge for Friday the 12th.
Okay, so it'll still be the same days, it's just different place in Nashville, okay,
So we'll be there on a Thursday and Friday.
gotcha. Okay, anybody have any other comments about our July meeting? If not, the next thing, as soon as we come back from lunch, will be our education report, Mr. Steve McDonald. Actually, we'll probably do these informal
Yeah.
and then get Steve's report. But in the meantime, we are in recess until 1 o'clock, breaking for lunch.
And there's a buffet here for those of you who don't know where to go eat. There is a restaurant here.
What are we doing?
We're going here to the buffet
We're all going here to that.
because we really don't have anywhere else to get to and get back.